which means it is time for our biweekly soft skills seminars. You're going to get a notification here in just a second that I am recording the call, just like we always do for our friends who were not able to join us today. But thank you for everyone who was able to log on and listen in. Today we have a very interesting topic, and definitely one that's a big gray area. Especially for a lot of folks, there's really not a right and wrong here. And so I'm very excited to have Mr. Brett on the line, Market Director out of Southern California, to kind of help walk us through some ethics and values and then kind of help us understand where we each stand individually. So without further ado, welcome, Brett. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. How's everybody doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. I don't know about everyone else on the line, but I can't complain. How about yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just getting over a little sickness, but I am doing well here.
Awesome. Take it away, Brett.
All right. So, folks, for anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Brett Skian. I'm a market director here in Southern California for the Woodland Hills and Torrance locations. And I'm going to walk you through some of our ethics and values today, and we go over a couple role play stuff or some activities and kind of just walk you through some of the rights and wrongs, some things that we find important here in the company. Partnership, passion, commitment, trust, accountability, respect, and integrity. These are the values upon which our company was built. Our core values define our culture, exemplify what is important to us as a company, and reflect our attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors. Our business ethics policy formalizes our values by providing a specific code of conduct that every employee is expected to follow. As leaders, you and I are expected to model behavior by living the company's values and following its ethics policies. People's values differ based on upbringing, experiences, belief, and education. Our company employs thousands of people from all walks of life. It's imperative that we care about the values of all of our employees. As a management employee, you and I represent the company and must take personal accountability for our company's values, standards, and ethics. And our ultimate goal is to meet the financial plans, maximize profits, and maximize personal gains without compromising our ethics and values. Basically, accomplishing all our goals in the right way. So what does ethics mean to you? Ethics has to do with what my feelings tell me is right or wrong. Ethics has to do with my religious beliefs. Being ethical is doing what the law requires. Ethics consists of standards of behaviors our society accepts. I don't know what the word means, which is fair enough, but we're going to cover some of that. These replies might all be typical of our own. The meaning of ethics is kind of hard to pin down. It's pretty gray, like Mary said. It's not all black and white. There are many common rationalizations people use to justify not doing the right thing or not being ethical. You know, everybody else does it, or they'll never miss it. Nobody will care. The boss does it. No one will ever know. I don't have time to do the right thing. That's close enough. Some rules are meant to be broken, or worse, it's not my job. So let's set a goal for today's presentation. I want everybody to say it with me now. I will review and understand the values of the company and be able to express them using my own language. Great work. I know everybody said that along with me. Anytime you need a quick refresher of our full business ethics policy, it can be found on the Wikipedia. It's obviously in our handbooks. We reviewed our orientations. There's a lot of different places you can get to it. If you have questions, please feel free to ask. It's there available for us. So now we're going to go and we're going to put some ethics and values in action. When it comes to ethics and values, there can be a lot of gray areas at times. Let's do a couple quick activities to help clear everything up for you. All right, so what's your ethical style? So you're going to need a little pen and paper or count on your fingers, wherever you want to do this. We're going to ask some questions, and you're going to either get a C or a J for every question, and you're going to keep track of all your C's and J's. And at the end, we're going to tell you what that all means. So if everybody's ready, we're ready to go. All right, so which is worse? Hurting someone's feelings by telling them the truth, or telling a lie to protect someone's feelings? If you pick hurting someone's feelings by telling the truth, give yourself a point for C. If you pick telling a lie to protect someone's feelings, give yourself a J. Hold on, I'm marking myself down as we go here, you guys. All right, next. Which is worse, to make exceptions too freely or to apply rules too rigidly? If you picked to make exceptions too freely, give yourself a J. If you picked to apply rules too rigidly, give yourself a C. Right? Which is worst, being unmerciful or being unfair? If you picked being unmerciful, give yourself a C. Picked being unfair, give yourself a J. Which is worse in this one? Stealing something valuable from someone for no good reason, or breaking a promise to a friend for no good reason? If you pick stealing something valuable from someone for no good reason, give yourself a J. If you picked breaking a promise to a friend for no good reason, give yourself a C. Alrighty, which is better? Being just and fair, excuse me, or being sympathetic in feeling? You picked just and fair, give yourself a J. You picked sympathetic and feeling, give yourself a C. All right, which is worse here, not helping somebody in trouble or being unfair to someone by playing favorites? You pick not helping somebody in trouble, give yourself a C. Being unfair to someone by playing favorites, give yourself a J. In making a decision, do you rely more on hard facts or personal feelings and intuition? Give yourself a J for hard facts and a C for personal feelings and intuition. Your boss orders you to do something that will hurt someone else. If you carry out the order, have you actually done anything wrong? Give yourself a C for yes, a J for no. That's a toughie. Which is more important in determining whether an action is right or wrong? Whether anyone actually gets hurt, or whether a rule, law, commandment, or moral principle is broken? So C for whether anyone gets actually hurt, or J for whether a rule, law, commandment, or moral principle has been broken. Alrighty, so tally up your score and let's see your results. The higher your J score, the more you rely on an ethic of justice or ethic of mission. People with this style tend to place a good deal of weight on moral principles, laws, or policies, which they believe should be applied to all equally. They usually do not like making exceptions based on special circumstances, and they worry about setting precedents. The higher your C score, the more you prefer an ethic of care or ethic of people. People with this orientation believe that the focal point of every ethical dilemma is specific to the individuals involved and the particular circumstances of the case. Solutions then must be tailored to specific details of individual circumstances. Notions of equity or what is appropriate or fitting tend to be favored by this approach. Now, neither of these styles is better than the other, but they are different. And then now they may have just initially seem to be opposed to one another, but they're actually quite complementary. In fact, as your score will probably show, you probably rely on each style to some degree. Right? Not many people end up with a 9-0 or a 0-9 C to J score. The more you can appreciate both approaches, the better you'll be able to resolve ethical dilemmas and understand people who prefer the other style. Did you know it is a federal crime to intentionally retaliate against any person who provides truthful information to a law enforcement official concerning possible federal law or ethics violations? Protecting the integrity of the company is the job of everyone. Our whistleblowers policy provides protection to any individual who feels obligated to call attention to questionable ethics within the organization. It also protects this individual from any course of retaliation by the company or by the individuals associated with these ethics violations. You can find out whistleblowers policy on Wikipedia. It's also posted in our restaurants, wherever you have all your stuff posted, I believe. Excuse me. How can you support ethics and values? Now, how can you, sorry, up there. So guiding principles for ethical decisions, sometimes what is right is obvious, and sometimes it isn't. When what is right isn't so clear, we must rely on a set of guidelines to point us the way and keep us on track. Use this framework to help you make those tough decisions. What is the law? Make sure you understand all the legalities that pertain to your job. The laws of society also apply to our company. What are the rules and procedures? Policies and procedures are the company rules. They exist to ensure appropriate and consistent behavior. Employee and management handbooks can be found on the Wikipedia and ordered from FedEx. What are the company values? Like you said earlier, partnership, passion, commitment, trust, accountability, respect, and integrity. And what does my conscience say? Is that little nagging person sitting on your shoulder, aka your conscience, telling you that it feels wrong? If it feels wrong, it probably is. Ask the questions when faced with ethical dilemmas. Does it conflict with our company values? Now let's get through some scenarios and discuss how you would handle the situation. Please feel free to unmute yourself to share or type your response in the chat. Read the scenario on the screen and facilitate a discussion. A party of four presents you with a free appetizer card. They include the card along with a credit card for payment for the rest of the meal. One of the members of the party tells you that the free appetizer card was a gift from her son. At the register, you notice the card is potentially counterfeit. What would you do in this situation? Why did you choose the plan of action you took?
All right, guys. So we've got a scenario here. One that actually some of us may have encountered it before, but someone comes up to you with a free appetizer card. You could also consider this maybe a free BOG or a gift card that looks counterfeit, but they're presenting you with something counterfeit and they say someone gave it to them. How would you handle this situation? Aaron raised his hand. Aaron, how would you handle this?
Hey, raising my hand because I'm about to eat, so I just want to be a listener for the rest.
Priorities, I get it. Sorry,
hey,
go ahead.
And as a priority. So this is something that we see often. A lot of times it's a gift card purchased at at a Safeway, Albertsons, grocery store that doesn't have a balance, generic denial, or someone has, one of those really old things that some of the restaurants handed 1,000 of them out with a free appetizer. The way that I always air to handle it is do what's right for the guest. In some situations, it'll be honoring a free appetizer because that little bit of hey, this isn't something we do or whatever else, but I'm going to take care of you. That's a good situation in itself. If it's $100 gift card, though, all of our gift cards have that 800 number on the back. I take the time to call that. They're able to give us information like when and where it was used, if it was never activated. And then, I kind of read the situation. I had a veteran and his wife from Wyoming about 2 weeks ago with this exact situation, $100 gift card, came in, spent a $90 check. This was on our fridge for a couple of years. We don't have PF Chang's out there. I didn't comp their whole bill, but we took care of them in a way that will make them remember that, hey, this isn't necessarily our fault. I called the number, I explained it, they kept the gift card. But also we made it not be a negative experience when they left.
I love that. I love the way that you started it, that we're going to do what's right for the guest. 99% of the time, that's a real guest with a real, or what they thought was a real card given to them by someone, and they're going to be frustrated if we just accuse them of using the counterfeit card. That 1% where it is someone doing something malicious, you're going to do more damage by treating all of those guests that way than you are by catching the one. So yeah, I love that. Aaron, Brett, did you have anything else you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, I like this one a lot, honestly, because this one is the way I treat this. Same thing. Take care of the guest, but I think of it the other way as well. Even if this is a counterfeit, free lettuce wrap card or whatever it might be, the guest may think, or maybe maybe that this is their counterfeit, or whatever. They may think they're getting us, quote unquote, for a free lettuce wrap, but more than likely, their bill is X amount. And how many times do we buy a lettuce wrap for our table just as an ODE or something like that sort of thing? And if you look at it from a business venture, and sometimes we get in this, we don't want to be, quote unquote, scam mentality. Just you kind of get past that, and this is really from a business sense. This makes more sense to again take care of the guest, take care of the sale. Yeah, maybe they took you for a lettuce wrap, but in the long run, maybe you're winning them over as a guest. But it just makes good business sense to take care of the situation again. And there's also that when you're accusing someone of maybe something being counterfeit, that 1 in a million chance where you're wrong, 1 in 100 or 1 in 10 chance is a lot more damaging than the 9 or 10 or the 99 of 100 than you're correct. So things like these, you kind of got to get past the feeling of maybe you're getting scammed, you're getting taken, and just do what's best for the business, do what's best for the guest. I think that's a great answer.
Yeah, thank you. And then just one thing I wanted to add real fast: if you suspect that someone is trying to commit fraud, mark the BOG that you're giving them, or take the guest's name or information down in some way where you can track it, instead of accusing them on that first encounter. Let it become a trend first. But anyway, all right, Brett, let's do the next scenario.
All righty. So you are expediting and your ticket times are almost 20 minutes. A dish comes up in the window that is clearly not up to par. You send the dish out to the table. Why did you choose the plan of action that you took?
All right, guys, how would you handle this one?
We've all been through this one 1,000 times.
That's a regular Saturday night. Oh, goodness. Anyone want to share?
Everybody's afraid to answer because they know they've chosen right 1 million times and they've chosen wrong 1 million times. Just like myself.
This is Angela. I'll answer if no one wants to answer.
Thanks, Angela.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, so depending on the circumstance of the dish, if it's something that's burnt, obviously I wouldn't send it out to a guest. But if it's something that was under portion, let's say, I would send it out to the guest, talk to the guest, let them know that we're going to remake the dish for them. But I noticed that this was not up to our standards, but I wanted to go ahead and let them start enjoying their food with the other guests, and that we're going to go ahead and remake it for them. And as we know, this has probably happened to all of us at one point, and the guest usually is very understanding and like, wow, like, I can't believe that you would take the time to do that and notice that this wasn't up to standard. And I think it sets a good precedence for them to come back to our restaurant.
I like that, Angela. I didn't even consider that when I was reading through this scenario, or even like a modifier that we missed, like something was supposed to be no bell pepper, and we still put bell peppers in it instead of throwing that dish away, giving it to the table anyway to let them enjoy while they're waiting. I like that. It's a good point. Brett, what do you think?
I think it's a great answer. I think the communication part of it is the biggest part. Like I said, if something is definitely inedible or just not great, not what we're looking at, then we obviously push that back. But like I said, in the chance where maybe it's under portioned or it isn't exactly what we're looking for, it might be a modifier. The communication part of it is going up to the table and, hey guys, you know what, this is not our best effort. We are definitely going to make one that is our best effort. But I wanted you to start with this, or at least to let you know what's going on. And the communication part is the biggest part of it. And also communication with your kitchen. I think a lot of times the reason we don't push food back is because we feel like we're gonna anger the kitchen or overwork those guys and whatnot. And it's really gonna be a standard that you create in your restaurants where hey man, look, I understand people make mistakes. You burnt these dumplings. It's not a big deal. It happens to the best of us. Let's just remake them. I'll go talk to the guests, and I just can't send them out, sort of thing. It's really kind of part of the culture you create in your restaurant.
Awesome. Yeah, completely agree. All right, last one there, Brett.
All right, your labor cost is very high for the week. You notice that a couple of your prep cooks clocked in earlier than their start time 2 or 3 days that week. Do you edit their punches to their scheduled start time? Do you speak to the prep cooks? Why did you choose the plan of action you took?
All right, guys. This might be something some of us are encountering right now with how tight we are on labor and the pressure our team members are experiencing themselves financially. Some people might be trying to sneak in a couple extra hours or two. Anyone want to tackle this one?
Hello.
Hey, Sprite.
It's me. Okay.
It's
So
you.
first of all, we cannot edit it back if our team member is already work because it's against the law. We cannot do that. So definitely we have to talk to them. Yeah, and hey, from this point on, I want to make sure that you come in on the schedule and and also if they come in before the schedule, they have to have the manager approval. So that is something we have to talk to our manager team as well. Like, hey, we are here and find out the reason like why we approve or we just keep approve on whoever asks for it, or have we take time to think about that at all? Are they late? Are they early? Or things like that. That is something that I would do.
I love it. Brett, what do you think?
Don't forget, first off here is we never edit times that people have worked. I think we're all pretty clear on that. But you know, I think this is much more of a, like you said, a manager issue than it is a team member issue. You know, obviously we want team members to be there on time and that sort of thing. But you know, who's swiping them in? You know, are we scheduling accurately? You know, are we really scheduling somebody at 10 and telling them to come in at 8? Maybe this is something you know you really want to follow up much more with the manager and the chef team. As well as the you know team member team as well, but just make sure everybody's firm on the fact that we never ever edit work time.
Awesome. All right, moving on along.
All right, so your core values are the things that are most important to you in life. They influence your actions, your choices, and your preferences. It is important to ensure a good match between your core values and your work environment. From the list of the screen, select 5 to 10 values most important to you. Consider all aspects of your life. Do not limit your response to your current work situation. So I'm going to pause a little here and let you guys pick some out. Excuse me. So you don't have to answer in front of the group, but think this one through on your own. You know, how do your values align with our company values? And just think of it from your personal perspective. All right, so recap. I think Mary bugged my bedroom this morning, if you read this. Let's take a quick moment to recap today's presentation. We covered a lot of information, and ethics and values are pretty heavy topics. So remember the guiding principles of ethical decisions. What is the law? What are the rules and procedures? What are the company values? What does my conscience say? And does it conflict with our company values? Remember this goal we set at the beginning of the presentation? Let's go through it one more time. And I want everybody to say it with me again. I will review and understand the values of the company and be able to express them using my own language. Great work again. Again, if you need any refresher on our full business ethics policy, it can be found in the Wikipedia and in our handbooks.
Awesome. Thank you, Brett. Does anyone have any questions about our ethics or values for Brett before we let you all go for the day? Great. Well, thank you everyone for your time and participation. And also thank you, Brett, for a wonderful presentation today. I know we talked about this at the very beginning, ethics and our values, it'll vary for different people. And really there's not a solid white and black right or wrong answer, but using those filtering guides, making sure that you're always in compliance with company values and the law, and then doing your best from that point is really all you can do. But thank you all for a wonderful soft skills seminar today. Thank you again, Brett, for a fantastic presentation. I hope that you feel better, but I hope everyone has a lovely rest of their Monday afternoon.
Thank you very much for having me. Everybody have a great day.
Thanks, Brett.
Thanks, Brett.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brett.
Brett.
Have a good one, everyone.
Thank you, Mary.